Hello, brothers and sisters. My topic today is about President Barack Obama. I know many of you accuse President Barack Obama as the Antichrist, that he is a Muslim and that he has no birth certificate. But I'd like to clarify that in this planet we are all one big family, and that it doesn't matter where you live, we are in this one planet, so we are all citizens of this planet Earth. So anyway, many of you knows me already, and you know that my mission was to shine the light on both sides, and this is the reason that I am appearing again. It's because I need to shine the light on both sides. This way you can decide for yourself and what decision you are going to execute regarding to continue with your journey. Brothers and sisters, President Barack Obama is not the Antichrist. Yes, his lineage, his family line, was from the line of this Illuminati line. But my earliest video, when I made videos about the Genesis, part 1, 2, and 3, I believe, I mentioned about the Snake Brotherhood. This was after the sinking of Atlantis, where nothing was going on in this planet. The Earth is like back to 0 point. And in order for the spirits to continue to grow and evolve, the Snake Brotherhood was oriented by the Space Brotherhood, the higher realm. And this is why you see the symbol of that the two snakes in that staff intertwined together, and then there's a bird on top of that staff. That was the symbol of the Snake Brotherhood. That on top of them was the Space Brotherhood. So these two brothers agreed to be our teachers. They played good guys and bad guys, and this two brothers called the Illuminati and Illuminara. So every time the family line of Illuminara incarnate to play the role as our teachers, they always get killed by the Illuminati, because the Illuminati was the powerful force of this planet. They are the Red Dragon. And when we started to continue with our growth and evolution, all of us fall under the veil of amnesia, and we have no memory. So even though you come from the dark forces family, you have no memory of who you are in the past. So like Hitler and Himmler. Hitler and Himmler were the sons of Belial. Belial is the term called Satan. Satan was the god Seth way back in Egypt. He was the one that killed Osiris. Okay, so after Osiris, he was ruling Egypt. And during that time, there were so many black magic and occult that were being practiced. Now let me go a little bit forward before I get off the topic. So this family, the leaders of this family, like the Draconian, this family line, they know how to trace their family line because of the aura that each of us emits. They know where to trace us, and they also know how to kill us, because everything is energy. They can kill us through psychic attacks, even when we're sleeping, or even when we're using the phone. They can use a strong source of energy, computers. So if you do not know who you are, you can be killed by these forces. But I am just explaining here that the powerful forces of energy, because everything is energy. So every time the family of Luminara incarnate, they always get assassinated. And during the time of the sinking of the Titanic, the good family oppose the dark agenda of the Illuminati, and with the plan building the Titanic, and it was known to be an unsinkable ship, and it's a big ship. So these powerful families go out on a luxury cruise, supposed to be, and that was the plan of the bad guys, that all these families go in a ship for a cruise, and then there were not enough life jackets and boats, and also the rule was women and children first. And that was the plan. And JP Morgan did not show up to be on that cruise, so you know what's going on. So they really hit onto that iceberg to sink that ship. So now in the present, many of our presidents got assassinated by these forces of the Illuminati, which, especially President Kennedy, that his family were really persecuted because he was a good guy. His brothers, they are in that family line. But every president that we have, these men in the mirror that we called were really the family in the mirror, behind that mirror, are the ones executing the commands. And our color, the Democratic, the red and blue, that is an Illuminati color. And any independent representative that wanted to become president, they have no way of winning the presidency because of this electoral college. And we, the people, are not the one who really elect our president. We know that it was the electoral college, depending on the number of the representative on each state. And I didn't like any candidates at that time during the Obama election against McCain. At that time, I didn't like any of them. But before that, when he was only a congressman, I liked President Barack Obama because he had charisma. He's likable. But then when I heard and found out that he accepted the challenge to become president, so he was nominated to become president, and I know and I feel already that something is wrong, something is fishy here. And at that time I liked Hillary Clinton, so I did give some money to support Hillary Clinton, but she didn't make it. And I researched on the internet whether if there's a possibility if we could just write in Hillary Clinton's name or run poll to be an independent to vote them for presidency. And based on my research, they have no way in winning the presidency because there are only certain number of states that allows the independent. And if the independent candidate would like to be in that state, they have to apply for like a licensure to be in the ballot for presidency. And based on the number of the electoral college, they have no way of winning. So I didn't vote for Barack Obama because I know something is fishy, and I call him the turtle fence because someone put him on that fence as a turtle. It was only a term. So I really didn't like President Barack Obama at that time because I know something was fishy. So during his presidency and upon my awakening in 2010, I was given all the knowledge and information that I asked from the higher realm and my higher self. And I found out that President Barack Obama is not the Antichrist. He is a good guy, and he is one of the spirits that incarnated. President Barack Obama is a Syrian, okay? Before I say anything, like the president, every time they disobey the man in the mirror, they get assassinated, their family either gets killed, they threaten to kill the family if they will not obey. So many of the presidents, they have no choice to but obey, or else you will be framed or destroyed by this force behind the mirror. Just like President Clinton was the one chosen before, during his presidency, he was chosen to disclose the UFO disclosure, and the powerful force of Illuminati framed him for that sexual accusation with Monica Lewinsky. Because the tactic of the Illuminati, they always use this sexual weapons against any powerful representative to destroy their opponent. They use sex. They implant you with. They can manipulate someone's mind to seduce each other, because they have all this knowledge and power to be in our minds. They can manipulate our thoughts. They can manipulate our dreams, our feelings. They can even merge with ourselves and control ourselves, and we didn't know that they can do that. But if you're awakened, then you know that it is against your will. So this way, they cannot do it, because you have to give that permission. And if we are dumb and blind, we didn't know, and if something's strange things happen, we just got scared, or then we pray to the false god that they present to us. But anyway, President Barack Obama is a Syrian. He was awakened. President Barack Obama and his family is protected by the Syrians. So his life is not in danger anymore, because they are protected. And the plan before, when they found out that President Barack Obama did not obey them, of course they like to put him on the trial for not having a U.S. birth certificate, and they planned to assassinate him. That was the plan before by the Illuminati. It didn't happen. Okay. President George Bush presidency, after the senior, the junior was the one who executed the 9/11 agenda. And by the way, the 9/11 was approved by the Council of Foreign Relations to execute the 9/11. When I found out about this 2 years ago, I was heartbroken. But then I found out also that our government was created to protect the elites, not us. They created the forces of the military because all of them was protected. They create this like Olympic bronze medal, the gold, silver, and bronze. This is the power structure of the elites. The gold is the king or sultan or raja or the committee of 300, which is the extension of the family of the 13 powerful banking families. The committee of 300 is the gold level, and then the silver is our military to protect the elites, the higher ups, the monarchy, the royalties. And then the bronze, which is us, the slaves of this country, to work for them. And that's why only the slaves will pay tax and not the elites, because for them they are royalty and we are only a slave for them, that we must serve them. So the harder we work, the more money we pay as taxes. And by the way, our income tax is illegal. also. Our income tax was payment to the Queen Elizabeth, to the money owed long time ago. They create wars in order to bury us in debt, and that's what happened. We owe money to the king. So now Queen Elizabeth was being received the payment from that debt of United States. And because of our check system, the executive, legislative, and judiciary, the three forces of our government is divided. So it was difficult for them to take over the United States of America because of the check system. That was the only good thing that our forefathers had executed to protect us and also give us the power to own weapons, guns. And this is the reason that the face of the Queen of England is not in our money, it's not on our dollar bills. But if you look on the monetary system in Canada, you see their money, you see faces of the Queen of England, because Canada belongs to the Queen. So now, let me go back because I lost my thoughts here. The check system protected us, so our government was illegal, and this is the reason that the Washington, D.C. was the base of the White House, because D.C. was not part of the United States of America. So therefore, whoever works in that area, really, we can accuse them of treason, or they are not, they have no power to rule the people of the United States of America, because Washington, D.C. is not part of the United States of America. And we cannot accuse those people of treason if the people wakes up, because Washington, D.C. is not part of the United States of America. So the government, our forces, really, it's not, they have no power of the people on this in United States of America. If we really want to invoke the citizens' power, and speaking of citizens' power, we have no power for a very long time, because the United States of America was under martial law for many years, a long time ago. If you guys did not know that, we are under martial law. And this is the reason that every president has the assignment or mission or agenda to declare war on anything, war against drug, war against terror, war on something, as long as they always claim to the media that if we are fighting a war, this keeps the martial law in effect, and the power of the people is suppressed. We have no power every time we exercise our citizens' power, because we are under that martial law. Now, when President Barack Obama became president, if you guys noticed that, there was no war being declared by the president. So this means we passed the 2-year term limit of not declaring any war. Therefore, the people's power now can take over, and we can claim back the United States of America. The power of the martial law is not in effect anymore. It becomes lame. President Barack Obama dissolved that. And by the way, President Barack Obama was the only president that had done so much for the middle class. And I do not oppose to Obamacare, because I do believe that every citizen of this world, in this planet, should have medical coverage. It doesn't matter where you live. Every citizen, because, in this United States of America, if you're employed and you become unemployed, then you end up having no insurance, and then you have if you get sick, they will not treat you because you have no insurance. But what happened to this Medicaid recipients, they get free on everything. They don't even pay the co-pay. So the system is really broken because you as a person, you work hard and pay taxes, but then when you become unemployed, you do not get any health benefits because you lose your job. So that is very unfair. And with President Romney, Romney was chosen by Bush Sr. and Jr. as their man to execute their final agenda because their family line, their so-called Dick Cheney's cousin, Barack Obama, did not obey the agenda of these forces. President George Bush, W. Bush, the Queen, they are the Tula power, which really, the skull and bones originated in Germany. The skull and bones was the Templars, the Knight Templars at that time. During that time when the Roman Catholic or forces, the church, they were ruled by the Freemasons, and these Templars that were not indoctrinated by the Freemasons, they felt something wrong, something is missing. So they went to Syria and other places to find out the truth, and they found out the truth about what happened before in the book of Plato, and also they found out about the Agartha. So these Templars, they were like the renegade, and they scattered all over. They started the money system, but then they found out that they worshipped the skull and bones. So those were the Templars, and Skull and Bone Society. Who belongs to that? George Bush, and you know who else. I don't have to say here, but if you research that, you know who are these powerful people that under the Skull and Bone Society. But anyway, many of them also were recruited forcefully because they have no choice, because their aura belongs to the family line. So when these children are born, these children, it's microchip. They get implanted with a chip. Of course, the chip doesn't last long, and they have to replace that. So you will see scars on their head because that shows that these kids, or even their priesthood, you know, their dark priest, the Atlantean priest, when they incarnate and they can trace the aura, these children were being gathered and kidnapped, and then they perform this occult for them because they, in their past life, they were priests or priestess, you know, like they are part of this occult organization. And the 13 powerful banking families are shifters. So this is the reason that they need to drink the blood of the children to hold their human shape. And when they expanded and intermarry, you know, the family expanded to the committee of 300, and this committee of 300 family, which really stole our money, they are part of that, stole the money of the people. They are not shapeshifters, but their blood is more reptilian blood. So, you know who, I bet you can feel and knows who they are because most of our leaders are part of that. And by the way, all of us in this planet, all of us have the strain of reptilian blood because we are all mixed with many races, and all of us have this strain of reptilian blood, and this is the reason that we have the left and right brain hemisphere. The left brain represents our reptilian brain, which is the ego, and the right side of the brain, the right hemisphere, is the spiritual, which is the mammalian brain. So it was for the purpose of finding our Christ consciousness. So when we know the truth, we know that we've been manipulated, then we can correct our mistakes, get rid of our negative energies, get rid of that ego, or control it, to tell the ego, now that I know your job is to just sit on my left shoulder and do not do anything. From now on, I am in control. I will call you, my ego, to step in case I need you in other situations, such as if you had a confrontation with someone else that are very strong energy, then you can call your ego to step in and protect you with strong force, So this is the reason that we still need to have our ego. So now let me go back. I got sidetracked. Now President Obama, they rumored that President Barack Obama was a walk-in. Walk-in does exist, okay? A lot of spirits do walk-ins. Like if you heard the news about like when a child died and then the child suddenly becomes alive, that was a walk-in. Another spirit walked in and took over. But there had to be an agreement between the body and the spirit to go inside that body. So President Barack Obama is a walk-in. Well, I can agree to that too. President Barack Obama is a walk-in. His spirit was the soul of the wife of Astar. And don't tell me right away that Astar was a bad guy. All of us here played in this planet as bad guys and good guys. And all those entities, all of them now being counseled by the higher forces of the angelic forces, the archangel. Now all of them had returned to the light. All of them, even the Anunnaki, was counseled by Archangel Michael. They all now return to the light. The Anunnaki is in war with the Illuminati now. Those gods that are returning here to assess the ascension of all of us in this planet, to make us one. We are all one family. But these forces of the Illuminati, the Western forces of Illuminati, refuse to play that this game is ending. Even the Eastern Illuminati laid down their weapon, which is really ruled by Rothschilds. Rothschilds control China and Russia. They had laid down their weapon. They said, okay, it's time to end this game. But the Western Illuminati, which is ruled by the Queen, the Draconian energy, and the Queen of England, they refuse to end this game. It is our story is so confusing, because long time ago the Orion forces were given the power to rule here, and then the agreement was to wait for the Draconians to come over and they will take over. So the management on this planet was ruled by the Orion forces, the priesthood, our Catholic Church, everything, the media. We are under the management of Orion. The reward system, the monetary system, if you do something good, they give you a reward. And other entities that are reptilians, they give drugs to them. If they did something good, then they give them drugs. The reward system is the Orion system. Now it is time for this Draconian to come over and rule this planet. However, these forces of the dark that agreed before, they do not want to give up their power. So they have wars against each other. So we are caught in the middle of that. So brothers and sisters, it is time to end this game. We must unite. It is time to end this game. We cannot let Romney win, because they're hoping that Romney can become president and execute their last agenda to destroy the United States of America and even other places. And this is why Romney really say it loud on their debate that he will fund the military He will make the military strong. Why? Because every president agenda or purpose is to always create, declare war, and they need the strong forces of the military to protect them so that the bronze people, the slaves, will continue to work and serve them and pay taxes on this planet, in the United States of America, for this presidency thing. Romney didn't even know that he was being used as a puppet. And the family forces, dark forces of this Republican, they are now pouring their millions of dollars to the Romney side so that they will win. Because we as the people, we can be manipulated. If we always listen to this media, the messages over and over again, you hear the lies, you will start to believe that it must be true because they continue to hear it. So this is why the media is being used by the Republicans, and they always do like an attack ads because they know our mentality, you know. If they continue to show it over and over again, we as the sheeple, we will start to believe. That is really, really a sad thing. So, brothers and sisters, we must choose the right decision for us, our decision. And for me, now that I am awakened, I chose Barack Obama to be our president because he is now awakened and did not obey the man in the mirror. They are protected by the Syrians, so their life is not in danger. So it is hard to have that kind of mission to tell the people the truth, because with his presidency, his record, he was always being accused as the Antichrist, the Muslim, and all that thing. So if he declared about the UFO disclosure, it will only end up with many confused and angry people, and it will result with a more negative energies, you know. And even with my job is to shine the light on both sides. This is a tough job to do because I do get attacked by many negative energies too. They attack me. I mean, imagine yourself as the president and your job is to tell the truth, and you cannot tell this to the people because you did not get the approval, the majority of approval of the people. So it is a tough job to tell the whole truth. I know many of you light workers know that and feel this pressure that we have, that when we want to shine the lights and share the truth, we always get attacked by the dark forces. And even though I get attacked many times, I continue to make videos, and I decided to let my ego sometimes to step in and take control of the situation, even the conversation. Sometimes I said this is the time for the ego to take over and execute with great force, but in a balanced way. So brothers and sisters, do not be deceived. It is time to wake up and do not choose the wrong decision. We cannot let the final nail on the coffin to be put in that coffin. We do not want to choose Romney because if he becomes president, he will become a puppet of many family members of this elite, and they will only control him, put chip on his mind, and threaten his family. So he is only a puppet. Brothers and sisters, I love all of you. I'm sending you love, light, blessings. Let us all wake up, because we are the ones who control our ending. We are the ones who are in control. We are the ones in the driver's seat right now. The power of the people is now in full force. We are not under the martial law anymore. I love you all.